Hi, everybody. My name is Caleb Bachman, and it is such a joy to be part of this celebration today. It's wild to me that it has been 20 years since we started Worship 2 here. It's even more wild that I, of all people, was a part of it. For those of you who don't know, I grew up in this church. I spent over 20 years here, sitting in these pews here every Wednesday and Sunday, part of this community. But I was more of an observer than a participant. I was super introverted, painfully shy, and I was dealing with an anxiety disorder that I didn't even know how to put words to at the time. I loved this church, but I never imagined myself serving in a public way. My turning point happened my freshman year of college when a fellow SNU student started attending EFC. Of course, I'm referring to the one and only Robert Click. Robert, who was not on staff or even an official intern at this point, had a bold idea to start a new worship service that looked and felt different than anything that had been done before. That's what became Worship 2. Like so many stories of God's work, this one started with someone's yes. Pastor Mark said yes to allowing a college kid to start a new service here. And that was huge. It required a lot of trust to make space for something new, but Pastor Mark was empowering and encouraging every step of the way. Robert had the vision, and people were rallying around him to make this thing happen. He has always been a force of nature when it comes to creating energy and atmosphere, and that was on full display here. He had gone through his circle of people and found someone to fill every position he needed, but one. The service didn't have a drummer. And so, as only Robert could, he came to me, someone who had never played a drum kit, and basically told me, "You're playing drums." My natural response would have been to nervously laugh him off and say no. But in that moment, the Spirit was prompting me to step out. Somehow, I said yes. Looking back now, I can point to that yes as the foundation for so many of the good things in my life. It gave me the courage to keep saying yes to new opportunities, to serving others, and to stepping into places that I once would have run from. Here's what I've learned. The legacy of this church is not just in the number of years, it's in the number of yeses. C.B. Jernigan said yes to planting this church 115 years ago. Pastor Mark said yes to starting a new worship service 20 years ago. And this scared, nervous kid said yes to holding drumsticks. And God used it to change my life. So today, as we celebrate all God has done with yeses, I want to encourage you. Never underestimate what God can do with your yes. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be qualified. You just have to be willing.